Hi everyone. In this session we are going to do a test for our previously installed SQL Server instance on the cluster. So we have these two nodes as you can see on the screen. We have installed the SQL Server engine onto our node 2, which is SGPT2, and then we have done add node on our instance on node 1, sorry, that is SGPT1. Now there are a couple of things which we need to check before we do a failover test, that our role or the instance has all the preferred nodes set. So if you see here, our preferred nodes are, none of the nodes are selected for the resource or the role, so we have to select them. Now this preference means that when the particular role goes down, or the instance or any resource goes down, where will it first move? So if you have more than two nodes, then you need to set the preference that if and you have to do the balancing as well if you are having more than one cluster instance. But in our case right now we only have one instance and two nodes, so we are just setting up the preference, the 1 and 2, and we apply that, click OK. The same way we have to do for our resources. If we go in the properties of the server name, there we have to go and in the dependencies section we have to see whether there are any dependencies set or not. In the policies section we need to see what is the failover time set, but if you go into the advanced policies you will see the the preferences. Now I have set it here, and for this particular role the possible owners have been set. Now we do a check for our SQL Server resources. Go to the advanced policies. It is selected for the agent, so it will just follow up the resource properties. So that's good. Now for the role, so we have already set it here, so it's there, and now the storage is already set, so nothing to worry about that one. Yeah. So now the manual failover works like we right click on the roles and then go to move best possible nodes. So this best possible node is the preferences one, that whatever is available one in a round robin fashion, or whatever the best possible owners you have set if there are more than two nodes. But here we have only one node, on one which is free and one on which we have installed. So select on the select node, choose your node name and then failover. Now here we are going on disk first to see whether our disk goes offline and then comes online on SGPT1. So if we go in the roles and we will see the resources, they are going offline. So the SQL agent will go offline first, the roles will go offline, then the SQL agent will go offline, then the SQL Server service will go offline, and then the SQL Server name, which is a network name, will go offline. And by the time the SQL Server will go offline, the storage will also go offline, sorry. And now if I go in to the disk under the storage, our storage is online on SGPT1. Our resources will start coming online on node 1. So if you see, the network name is online, the SQL Server services are coming online right now. It's online now. The SQL Server agent will come online and the role will come online. So now our SQL Server services are running on node 1, which is SGPT1. So this is the manual how it happens. But in case if the server shuts down or you are doing a patching activity so you install your patches first onto your passive node, shut it down, or you reboot and then fail over to it. But I'm just gonna show you how basically the shutdown behaves in case you need to test. So if I go on here to my first node, let me log in. So just quickly shut it down. Now I'm just shutting down my first node on which the SQL Server services are running. So we will see our nodes will go down slowly, as you can see, and they will come online as on SGPT2. Now the resources are slowly coming online. And if we go in the node section, we will see that our node has gone down. So because I have shut down the server, that's the reason it is showing. But in case if you are rebooting, it will still show you down, and once the server is up, we will see that the status will change from down to up. So now let's revisit and refresh. So all the resources are running on our node 2. Now in this session, we have seen that we have failed over our installed instance on either of the nodes. In the next session, we are going to install SQL Server Management Studio on one of the client machine and try to connect the instances one by one on failing over on each of the nodes. So see you in the next session.